everyone. If you are new here, my name is Ruth, and this channel, Constantly Abiding, is about everything pertaining to home, really, whether that be homeschooling, homesteading, homemaking, home decor, all things pertaining to home. And I just got home. I was all over the country. I took my daughter to camp in North Carolina, and then I went with 3 other daughters to the Amish Country Ohio area. We actually have a vacation house there in the heart of Amish country. It is delightfully gorgeous there with rolling hills and all kinds of shopping, thrifting, antiquing, beautiful coffee shops, wonderful restaurants. It is just, there is so much in that area to do, and we have a vacation house there. It's actually on VRBO. If you are ever interested in visiting the area and would like to stay in our home, reach out to me and I can tell you more about our home. It sleeps 12, but we just got back from there and had such a wonderful time. And it was a girls' trip. It was me and 3 daughters, and so we did a lot of shopping, a whole lot of garage sales and thrift stores and local shops, bulk food stores, all the things I love. And as I'm unpacking and putting things away, I thought I would love to show you what I brought back from Ohio on this trip. Now, the girls got all kinds of clothes and things from the thrift stores. These thrift stores and the garage sales really are just a whole different caliber of secondhand shopping. They are clean and neat and tidy and have such a wonderful selection. So I have treasures from garage sales, from thrift stores, from local places like bulk food stores, even something from an antique mall. So I'm gonna kind of try to show you by category what I brought home. And I think at the heart of all of this, the thing I treasure the most is the time I got to spend with my girls and just the fun of going into these stores and coming out with our bags and our purchases and doing it in an economical way, like getting a lot for a very little bit of money, like just really shopping very intentionally and wisely. And I love a good bargain, and so I am excited to show you. I'm going to start with the garage sales and what I brought from garage sales. I loved this for 50 cents. Isn't that so pretty? The blue and white. And I guess it is like for gravy, maybe a gravy boat. It does have a little chip here, but I'm probably going to be using it for just decor. And I can use this side of it where you do not see the chip at all. I really think it would be pretty to plant some ivy in here maybe. That's one idea I had for it. But for 50 cents, and as much as I love blue and white, I thought that this was definitely something to grab. I also was really excited at a garage sale to find this fake pie, I guess. It looks like blueberry, and it looks like it has sugar sprinkled over the top. And I'm not sure. I think I gave $1 for that. But I have been wanting fake food to put like in cake plates where you have the glass lid over it, or something like that, like a big cloche, or just to put in the kitchen to look like we have fresh baked goodies in the kitchen sometimes. So I was excited about that. Also found this cute little gingerbread, and these are cute at Christmas to put out on a Christmas plate for display. I found also a set, I've already used one, but these are the fake candles. I got these at a garage sale for $1 for 5 of them. And you know, you put the battery in and the little flame flickers. So that was really a good price, $1 for 5 of these. And then the price was certainly right on this. This one garage sale that we went to had a free table, and so this is a plate hanger that was just on the free table, so that was a find. And these were mostly Amish farms that were having these garage sales. It was in the Mount Hope area. And the way they do their garage sales a lot of times there is different towns will have a garage sale weekend. So this was the Mount Hope weekend. So everywhere you look, there's a garage sale sign, all over the place. And so you drive up on these beautiful farms and see the ponies and the horses as you go by. And a lot of times these garage sales are indoors in their shop. It's a building outside of their home, and it's neat and tidy, and usually everything is well organized and everything is folded, like all the clothing or cloth items like curtains. Things are just very well organized and very clean, very picturesque. You see these magazine perfect landscaped farms. You see the farm animals and beautiful vistas from the hillsides. It's fun to go to the garage sale, honestly, just for the view. Just drive up and see these beautiful farms. And one of the garage sales that we were inside the shop and looked out the shop windows, and there were these little ponies trotting by. So it's such an experience and so much fun. I really enjoy it. Now I have a few things behind me that I want to show to you from garage sales as well. I'm not positive that these came from garage sales. It could have been thrift stores. I think it was a garage sale. This one, yes, because it has a little star, so I know that was an indication of who was selling it, because a lot of times neighbors will pull together and have group garage sales. So probably the star indicated which family had contributed this. So this cute little basket was 50 cents. This is another design that I thought was really cute. I usually, when I go to Ohio, between garage sales and thrift stores, I come back with all kinds of baskets. Here's another example of a cute thrifted basket. This could have been here in Texas, I don't know, but I thrift baskets a lot, and mostly in Ohio. And I love them in my vintage cottage kitchen and around the house. I love them for organization, but I also love them for gift giving. Baskets are wonderful to put gifts, but also I preserve food in mason jars, so I love making gift baskets with something that I've canned and to be able to give that away. I just love homemade gifts, and I think baskets are such a great container for homemade gifts. I also brought home this little plant, this little cutting from an Amish garage sale. They often will propagate plants and have little cuttings for sale at their garage sales. This is some kind of, I guess you'd call it a succulent. You can definitely feel the leaves are thick and that it, I guess, retained a lot of water. And so that is good, I think, for the climate I'm in here in South Texas with the high heat. I think this one will be a win here. I was delighted with, this was probably my favorite garage sale find. This is a Christmas platter or deep dish. Maybe that's what you would call it, a deep dish with the holly and ivy. I paid $4 for it, and I knew that was a great deal when I turned it over and saw that it is the Lennox brand. And so I knew that was a wonderful deal. Now, it's funny because right before I went to this garage sale and found this beautiful deep dish, I was telling a friend of mine who was also with us for the garage sales, I was telling her about another trip where I went to an Amish garage sale and I found this beautiful pie plate with holly and ivy, and it was only 50 cents. And I turned it over and saw that it was the Longaberger basket brand. And after I bought it for 50 cents, I took it home and I looked it up, and I think it was between $50 and $70 online. And so incredible deal. And I felt like this Lennox really large deep dish baking dish Christmas pattern, also for $4, was something that was a great deal. Now I would like to move on and talk about things that I thrifted in actual thrift stores. My girls and I spend so much time going from thrift store to thrift store. They like to look for clothes, they like to look for gifts that they can put back for one another, and I like to look for treasures for the home, for good books. There's just so many things. This time I found this for $3.99, and I thought it was so cute for our cottage kitchen, and so I was thrilled with that. I also found this really cute little, I guess that's a gravy boat. It looks a little small for a soup tureen, but it has the ladle and the pretty flowers on it. And I already have one soup tureen that is this creamy glass like this. And so here's another. I think I'm getting a little collection of these, and I may even display them together, I'm not sure. I also found this one, which is a little bit bigger, for $6. This reminds me of something that my grandmother had. I think hers was a little larger, but I just think of her when I see this. And so it goes really beautifully with this one here. And like I said, I have another one. And on this trip, I picked up one more. This one I really would call a soup tureen. I believe that's what it's called. And this one I got for $5.50. I think it is just beautiful. I'm really thrilled with it. It's taped up, so I'm not going to take the lid off, but I got the 3 of them. And it seemed to be the trip for these little tureens or gravy boats, whatever they are. So I have these 3, and the other one that I already had thrifted previously. These are so pretty at Christmas. You can tie like a green or a red velvet ribbon on the little toppers. They're just so pretty. You can do so many things with them. These I thrifted on a previous Ohio trip, and I just brought them home this time. They look like the pictures are old and the colors are kind of muted, and I'm not sure where they're gonna go or what I'm gonna do with them, but I really do think, especially with the frames, they are really beautiful. And so I have these that I thought I might use in our Ohio house, but I haven't found a place for them, so I'm going to try this house. And if I don't find a place here, I might take them back to Ohio, because they definitely have these beautiful frames and I want to use them. So I also find books at really good prices. This is the Gooseberry Patch Homemade Gifts from the Heart little booklet. I got this for 25 cents in a thrift store there, so I want to look through that and get some ideas for homemade gifts. I also found these beautiful blue dishes. This one I paid $3.50 for, and it's the brand Avignon. I've never heard of it, but it also had this one, this big platter, and then this oval serving dish. Very pretty. You can stack them. So I got those. I'm using lots of blues and greens in this new vintage cottage kitchen, so I thought these were a good find. And then I paid 50 cents for this little dish. The lid is taped on there, but I could put peppermints in there at Christmas, or pastel candies at Valentine's and around the springtime. So I thought this was cute for 50 cents. Sometimes these little glass dishes that you can put little doodads or candy are really handy. They're versatile. You can do a lot with them. Now, this is probably my favorite thrift store find of this trip. I got a set of vintage dishes and I thought they were lovely. I have seen things like this before on other YouTube channels where people have held up these vintage dishes, and I thought they were so pretty. When I saw these, I thought these are probably the ones I would like to have, but I just unwrapped them all out of the boxes that they traveled home in and looked at them in this kitchen where, again, I'm pulling blues and greens, and I'm so thrilled with them. I think I paid $25, something like that, for the whole set of dishes. So I'm just gonna show you the pattern and the pieces that I got. So this is the pattern. It's this floral pattern. And on the back, it says Victoria. I'm not sure, I've never heard of that brand. They are dishwasher safe and microwave safe, but they are so pretty. And I have loved anything Victorian ever since I was very young, and I love anything floral. So there's a lot of these smaller dishes and the little teacup and saucer. Look at the pretty colors in there. Pinks, browns, yellows, blues, purples. I mean, they really pull like almost any color that you could want on a feminine pastel color. The greens, I just really, really love these. So very happy with that. I think the large plate is what sold me when I saw it. Isn't that beautiful? And of course, when I turned it over and I saw that it says Victoria, that just, something about Victoria, isn't that silly? But I really, really just thought, this is me. This just screams me. And for our cottage kitchen, I love it. Sometimes I'll probably pull more blues in here and sometimes greens. And this does both. So very thrilled with that. It also came with like the creamer and the sugar. I'm sorry, I'm getting up and down here and my chair is kind of in the way, trying to sit and stand, but this was really a piece from the set that I was so thrilled with, is the teapot. Very, very thrilled with this. So, I mean, I could see just the teapot alone being worth $25. So I feel like I got a really good deal with that. And then the set also came with the salt and pepper shakers. So I'm going to clean it all up and wash it and figure out where to keep it. But I'm super thrilled with that. My most exciting find of all on this trip is this beautiful fireplace, electric fireplace. This is a gift from my mom, and she wants me to remember it also from my dad, who is no longer with us. He's with the Lord, but she wanted me to remember it as a gift from both of them. And I found it at Big Lots in Ohio. While we were there, it was the floor model. It was being clearanced out. And ever since we began building this vintage kitchen, I knew that we wanted a fireplace on this wall, but I did not know what. I did not know what that was going to look like. And when I walked into Big Lots, I felt like this might sort of look like it just blended in with the wall, almost like it was meant to be, or a built-in or something. And I got such a phenomenal deal on it. I was able, it was half price at Big Lots, which was already a really good price, and then it was half price, and then layering coupons. And I thought this was such a neat feature. This opens up so you can put decor or whatever you want in that little spot up there. And now I have a mantle to decorate, and I will always treasure it as this gift from my mom and my dad. I also thrifted this beautiful picture. It may not stay, it may be a little small for this mantle, but I just threw it up there for the moment because it's beautiful and I wanted to just throw something on the mantle. So I really haven't styled it or decorated it. I just threw some things on it real quickly. And so it really does put out heat, and I'm excited for this fall and winter, and just excited that, you know, this kitchen now has been in the works for about 2 years. And this is just one more piece of finishing the original design and plan. And I'm just so thankful. It's a precious gift from my mom and my dad. And I think of them when I see it. And I'm just so thrilled. It was quite the ordeal to get it home in my van to Texas, but we managed. And I know we're gonna enjoy it for many years to come. Okay, I've repositioned my chair here to kind of show you what's on this half of this big butcher block countertop in our farmhouse kitchen. I'm gonna show you something I got at a store called Lehman's. If you've ever heard of Lehman's, they sell all kinds of things for homesteading, canning, cooking, baking. They sell big things like furnaces for the winter if you live up north. They sell things for laundry, things like drying racks, like wooden drying racks, good brooms, all kinds of things, kerosene lamps. It is really an experience to go to Lehman's if you're ever in that area of Ohio. It is in Kidron, Ohio, and it's really fun. They have a little restaurant there, they have a toy store, they have snacks and candies. You can buy your children peppermint sticks. It's like an old-fashioned store that's really large, and a lot of things that you might that might appeal to you, especially if you are on the like farming, gardening, homesteading side of things. So I wanted to can some strawberry lemonade concentrate while I was there. I got in on the last little bit of the strawberry harvest there in Ohio, and I wanted to try out a recipe for strawberry lemonade concentrate. So I was going to need to juice a lot of lemons, and I didn't have a juicer or anything. So I thought, if anyone has a little gadget to help me get the juice out of the lemons, it would probably be Lehman's. So I went and looked, and I found this. It says that it's like a Best Invention of 2023 award, but here it is, and you open it up like this, and you put a half of a lemon in this compartment here, and then you squeeze it, and the juice comes pouring out here. I wasn't sure if I was just wasting my money, if this would really do the trick, but it did really well. I was able to juice those lemon halves pretty easily with just half the lemon, stick it in here, and squeeze it, and out all this juice would come. This was exactly what I needed. Now, if I was here, I might want to have some kind of high-power juicer or something, but this, being away from my normal home, my normal kitchen, and just needing something to get me through. But you know, I think we're gonna use this a lot here, actually, just maybe squeezing lemons for water, or to add a little bit of flavor to something. I think this would be really handy. Sometimes I'm hesitant to get additional gadgets for my kitchen, just more clutter, but some things really do work and are really worth it. And I thought this was a pretty clever invention. So this came from Lehman's. They also have an online store if you want to check that out. Next, I'm going to show you something from an antique mall. This was the Walnut Creek Antique Mall. That is where, if you're familiar with Mary with White House Cottage on YouTube, Mary has a booth there. But this is the little saucer and teacup that I found at the Walnut Creek Antique Mall. It came with a stand, so I will try to show you right here, this little plastic stand, and you put the cup here and the saucer behind it, and it's just beautiful to display. I went in there and there's just so many lovely antiques. This one really drew my attention because of the finish and the colors on it. It just had sort of that really old antique kind of a look to it. Not like something that you just found in TJ Maxx, you know. It kind of has more of that old look. I'm certainly not sure, but I think it is old. It says Crafton, China, I believe. It has a little emblem on the back. I don't think this is just a recent find at TJ Maxx. And I thought the colors were so pretty with the gold trim. I really liked that. So this was one of those things that I just bought because I loved it. It wasn't like finding a 50-cent find at a garage sale. It was probably more like $6 to $8 for the set, but I thought it was worth it. I do collect teacups. I've been collecting teacups since I was, well, young, like at least early on in our marriage. And this was a unique one that I really liked. So next I want to show you some things from local stores. These stores are not your typical big box stores. These are like bulk food stores, and some of them are like Amish run stores, like a mini little market where you can find dishes and candles and books and rugs and kerosene lamps and solar lights and all kinds of really cute home decor and fun little color books for children. I mean, just these little Amish run stores are all over the place, and they have some unique things, and I love to go into them. This is something I got at one of them called, I think it's Ruby's Country Store. Ruby's Country Store in Winesburg, Ohio. This is a large sheet pan with a plastic lid for carrying it somewhere. Now, a lot of the Amish ladies use these in different sizes. It's just your typical sheet pan, but what I love is that it has this lid. And so while we were there, a very dear Amish friend made us it was kind of like a chocolate cake, and then she covered it with a fruit glaze with fresh peaches on the top and a mixture of whipped cream and cream cheese. It was delicious. So good. You can make that fruit, I think you call it a fruit pizza. You can make it in all different flavors. So I knew I wanted to make that. I do have the recipe in one of my Amish cookbooks. And so I wanted this so that I could make it and take it like with us to someone's home or to church or something like that. So we went in a bulk food store. You see those all over the place. And yeah, this one I got at the Ashery. One of you that has been watching my channel mentioned that I should go in the Ashery, and I appreciated your comment, and I did go to the Ashery. I think I might have been in there years ago, maybe, but it was like going for the first time, because if I did, it was a long time ago. So this is from the Ashery. That's a great bulk food store there, and we got the pineapple glaze. So what I will probably do is, and maybe I'll possibly do this on a future video. Make the chocolate cake on the bottom and probably then put like a mixture of whipped cream and cream cheese, and then put the glaze on it, and then fresh fruit, whatever fruit, maybe peaches or pineapples, something on the top. So I wanted to get set up so that when I got home, I could make that delicious dessert that my friend made for us while we were there. Also, there's a lot of dent and bent stores in Ohio where you can go and get really good deals, really great discounts. Sometimes you're just paying a small fraction of what the item would cost because there's like a dent in the box or in the can. The cereal box might be kind of smushed in or something. But this particular dent and bent store near our house has books as well. And this is a large picture book. It's called The Amish Mennonites Across the Globe. And so it's kind of like telling you about the Amish and Mennonite culture around the world. And so I wanted to have this picture book and be able to thumb through it, and I thought it would be very interesting. I have so many Amish and Mennonite friends that I deeply love, and so I love to learn about their culture and their history. And this book originally was $45 in the Dent and Bent store. I paid $10 for it, so I thought that was a great find. Also at the Ashery, we got this lemon gelatin. The Amish are big on Jell-O, and when you go in their bulk food stores, you see these little bags of Jell-O in every flavor you can imagine. And so we like to try different ones, and I don't remember us trying lemon gelatin before from Ohio, so we brought this back. I let the girls choose. I just love, whether we're in a thrift store or a bulk food store, I love being with them, making those memories with them, and making it fun for them with just things like picking gelatin. Sometimes it's the small things. I also picked up some gold tongs for our new kitchen. I have only had these in stainless steel, and I was really happy to see the gold color for our new kitchen since I'm using a lot of the gold tones in here. Also, this is something I had not seen before. It's from the brand Farm to Table. I think I picked this up at a bulk food store, but it is like an opener for mason jars. Usually when I want to open up a mason jar, I get a knife and I hit around the lid, but this opens it up, and so I'm gonna see how this works and if I like that. Along with all of the thrift stores, antique malls, garage sales, all these places where you can really get good deals, this area in Ohio also just has beautiful shops, and shops that are aesthetically so fun and beautiful and inspiring to walk through. And we went to one of those along Highway 39 in Ohio. It's called Country something, and they were having a tent sale and had really good prices in the tent sale, and had this fake candle, and the wick really moves when the battery is in there and it's operating. And so I paid $4 for this, and I thought that was a really good price for this high-end fake candle with a moving wick. It looks very real. So I was glad for that find. And then there are also craft malls that have vendors, and so people have a little booth that they rent and they sell things. And I found this in Berlin, Ohio. I wonder if any of you know what this is. This is actually to hook on your oven rack and pull out the hot oven rack, which, you know, you can use a hot pad or whatever, but I thought this would be handy. I've been seeing these for years. It just hooks onto the oven grid rack or whatever, and you just pull that out to check on your dish. And so I thought this was a neat little find. And sometimes it's fun to just find something that you didn't even know existed. And it's such a small thing, but it can be so life-changing. So I'm gonna show you what I found that I just thought was worth a try, and I am actually loving it. It is a little chapstick holder that goes on your keys. And so it's hanging there on your keys when you are driving, or if you just have your keys in your hand or whatever. And it has a little tube of chapstick, and you can pull it out very easily and slip it back in. Now the reason I love this is because I don't know if I am addicted to chapstick or what, but I have to have chapstick a lot. And I don't like having to dig in my purse constantly or run around and try to find a tube of chapstick. So when I'm out and running errands or driving or whatever, and I usually hook my keys onto my purse with this little hook. You can get these kind of things even like at Walmart. It's easy for me to know where my tube of chapstick is, and it's not like buried in the bottom of my purse. So this was at one of those craft malls in a booth that someone was renting, and I thought it was worth a try. And I have to say, like, traveling home from Ohio, we had to go from Ohio back to North Carolina to pick up my daughter from camp, and then back to Texas from North Carolina. So our trip getting to Ohio was 3 days of driving, and the same going home. So having my chapstick handy like that was just so convenient and made life so much easier. Now I see one more thrift store find that I forgot to show, so I'm gonna show you that real quickly. I found this plant dish, a planter. And I have seen a lot of these in the blue and white, but I thought this pink and white was gorgeous. I really loved it, and I paid, what, $4 for this. I know that would be probably half or more than what I would pay even at a good price somewhere like Ross or TJ Maxx. So I was delighted with this, and I'm excited to plant something in it. So I hope that you have enjoyed seeing some of the things that we brought back from Ohio. It is so much fun, and like I said, it's not just about getting new things, although I do love deals and discounts and, you know, finding a good deal. I really enjoy that. But it's about spending time with the girls and enjoying our time together, and the excitement of finding things and sharing our finds and just being together and seeing their joy in the things that they were finding. And hopefully as they see some of these items around our home, they remember the memories, you know, because things pass away. Our happiness and our joy is not in our possessions, but relationships and people and faith. Those are the things that are enduring. And so I most treasure that I was able to spend really good quality time with the girls. Well, one other thing I want to show you before I end this. All right, I want to show you the things that I canned in Ohio. This is my strawberry lemonade concentrate. So it's the strawberries that I mashed up and cooked, and the lemon that I used, that little juicer, handheld juicer, and sugar. And when we want to make this, we will just put equal parts water with what's in here. And I'm hoping it's really yummy. It's got those farm fresh strawberries in it. And so I did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarts of this. I would have loved to have done a lot more, but I was limited on time, of course. And then I did a lot of little containers of jam, strawberry jam. I also mixed in some blackberries in with this. Now I'm a little disappointed. It did not gel as much as I wanted it to, and I'm not sure why. I do know that I halved the recipe, and I don't know if that messed up the pectin somehow or what, because it came from the Ball Book of Canning, and that's very reliable. I'm not sure why it didn't set completely. Nonetheless, I already have used it on a sandwich and it was delicious. I think we could use it as syrup on pancakes and waffles, or like on crepes. I certainly think I could probably turn it into something like this, this glaze. There's so many things that I could mix it in with, and it can be used as a jam. It's just not set as much as I would like it, but it is certainly usable even as a jam on a sandwich. But I wanted to ask, for any of you who might be excellent canners, if your jam or jelly doesn't set as much as you want it to, meaning it doesn't like gel as much, like it's a little runnier than you want it to be, is there something you can do after the fact to thicken it just a little bit as you're using it, like mixing something in? I know you could probably recan it and add in more pectin, but I don't want to go to all that trouble. So we will probably use it on things like crepes, waffles, pancakes, maybe even like strawberry shortcake. It could go over ice cream. I mean, I don't think we're gonna have any trouble using it. But I am curious if anyone has ever successfully thickened a jam or a jelly like after the fact, after it's been canned, if it failed to set. And I definitely canned jelly and jam successfully, so I just don't even know why this didn't set as much this time. But anyway, no problem, because it's delicious anyway. But I hope that you have enjoyed this little video, just seeing some of the treasures and things and hearing about our the area where our house is in Ohio. Again, if you are at all interested in going and seeing all of that loveliness for yourself and you're looking for a house to rent, just reach out to me, because we do rent our house when we're not there. And thanks for watching this video. I hope you have a great day.